It's time for the Alien Syndrome review for the Wii. The 2000 version of Alien Syndrome is the sequel to Alien Syndrome developed by Sega in 1987. I've never played the original, so I don't know if it's anything like this one. The story is about... you know what? I really can't say. Why? Because I couldn't even finish the game because of how boring it was. Seriously, after playing the 4th or 5th level, I just couldn't take the torture anymore. What I will say about the story is that you play as Eileen, a lieutenant for the Earth Command who is aboard a spaceship that is riddled with aliens. She is sent to investigate what happened to the ship. As you start out, you get to modify your character. You can select which type of fighter she will be, which all have different attributes and weapons. Once you select your character, you begin the tutorial, which is a part of the main game in the infested ship. As you make your way through, you will encounter an infinite amount of aliens to fight. Well, this is only half true. It can be infinite because the aliens respawn like no other. The best way to complete the level is to never go back the way you came, unless you want to constantly fight. Alien Syndrome is a real-time RPG. When you level up, you can add stats to your attributes like strength and dexterity. When you defeat an enemy, it will sometimes drop items that can help you in your quest, such items like parts of body armor and health boxes. There is some strategy in which armor sets you'll want to have on at certain times, because most armor pieces give bonuses to your character's attributes. To help you carry multiple items, you are given a robot called a Scarab, which, like I just said, helps you carry many items for future use. When you get bored with single-player mode, you can switch to a multiplayer co-op mode that supports up to 3 other players. This is by far more fun than just playing the game alone, but nonetheless, it doesn't really make up for the lack of the... what's it called again? Oh yeah, fun factor. I kind of forgot what it was called since I really couldn't find much in this game to call fun. The graphics are decent, nothing really special, but not an eyesore either. The controls were very good. Just move with the analog stick and the nunchuck, press B to fire, and aim by pointing the Wiimote at the screen. The control scheme is very much like Geometry Wars Galaxies. You can also press C to activate a temporary body shield, which can come in handy. Now, moving and attacking was easy enough, but the camera mechanics were just a joke. To move the camera, you have to twist the nunchuck clock or counterclockwise to get the correct angle that you want. This became so frustrating at times, especially when you're playing multiplayer. It just wouldn't cooperate with us. Another issue was the camera angle. The third-person view is a good idea for this game, but the developers took it too far. The camera is set most of the time so that it's looking directly down on you. I wish the developers created it so that it's looking at you from a 65-degree angle, not a 90. Like I mentioned before, there are so many enemies to fight, and because there's hardly any variety in alien species, the fighting becomes very, very dull. One time I just got so bored and frustrated with it, I dropped both controllers without pausing, went outside, and just took a long breath of fresh air. I came back to find myself dead, of course, but I really couldn't have cared less. Alien Syndrome is a game only for people with a high tolerance level. It does have decent graphics, very good controls, and multiplayer mode was more fun than single-player mode. But the only thing that I found to be awesome about this game was the artwork on the disc. This game is just plain boring. My brother and sister agree that even multiplayer didn't save us from the boredom. The levels look practically the same, there's hardly any variety in species of aliens, and fighting the aliens became dull really fast due to the lack of variety in attacking. Unless you count the combos you can perform with your melee weapon, but... ugh, no thanks. The camera mechanics were crap, and the camera angle was frustrating most of the time. Ugh. Now, I will admit that some parts of the game weren't that bad, but still, I'd say 90 to 95% of the time was just boring. If you like real-time RPGs like me, but have a super high tolerance level, I'd say go for it, but to the rest of us, I don't recommend it. Not even the $10 price tag at GameStop can get me to buy this game. If it drops down to $1, then I might consider buying it, but only to use the disc as a coaster. This game gets a 2.5 out of 5 with a title of bad.